Hi everyone, welcome to the Marathon, where we interview entrepreneurs that are really doing amazing businesses, that are really running sustainable businesses. And we firmly believe by watching such shows, you can learn few things and you can inculcate those things in your businesses. Today, we'll be interviewing Shadrek Kubyane from Coronate Blockchain. Let's get it! Woo! So, firstly, I would like to welcome you to our show called The Marathon, where we interview entrepreneurs like you that are making groundbreaking innovations, and also to understand as well, what is entrepreneurship so that people, they can learn and we can inculcate those learning lessons from such dialogues in our businesses, May you kindly just tell us who is Shadrek and where you from?
Firstly, greetings to you, gratitude for your hospitality and salutations, very warm salutations from Santon across the world to your viewers and listeners. I often tell people that I am a born diplomat, meaning I was born at the intersection of three provinces or three regions in South Africa. Those are like the Northwest region, the former Bophuthatswana, the Great with the Transvaal, which is now the Gauteng province. I was born at the intersection of those three. What's fascinating is that they used to be countries where you would actually need a visa. You would need a pass. Some people might even go as far as calling it a DOM pass to come to Gauteng and be allowed in. You would need a visa to actually go to Bophuthatswana, which is what we call the Northwest. I call it the Platinum province with the Platinum belt. You would need some form of acceptance to go into Limpopo. But me, a young boy growing up as a born diplomat, I used to straddle the provincial or the country lines all in a day. I was a sustenance hunter. I would wake up and go and hunt for breakfast in another country in the Great North. And then I would actually have my mealie fields. I actually lived off the ground with my family. I'm the last generation to do that. I would actually live off the ground in the Gauteng province where our fields will be. So I used to straddle provincial and cultural lines from my time of birth. And of course, you wouldn't know who I really am until you see that I'm actually from a family business environment. From as young as 9 to 11, my mom, who's actually a survivalist type of entrepreneur, they would also call her a hustler. She would start projects, she would start businesses and outsource their operations to me. So I actually had to hit the ground running from a young age. And fast forward to later, even though I wanted to become a medical doctor and a neurosurgeon, I took a different pathing in life. I pursued strategy and I pursued business communications. And that's where I served. I served in corporate and I also spent my time with Deloitte, and I segued into management consulting, where with Gershon South Africa, I was able to focus on emerging markets in Africa, where I would handhold companies into growth with my team. And that is how we landed up in blockchain, because one of those African-facing entities was 10x from $500 to $2 million or in the local currency to 30 million a year revenue. So that's what really got a bit of attention across established retailers and salons and others that were banging on our doors looking for the same silver bullet. We told them there's no magic pill. We had to conduct an 18 months due diligence where we studied the entire sector. And that's when we realized that blockchain might not be a magic pill, but is a solution that's needed at scale to reform the $7 billion salon sector in hair extensions in Africa. That's in a nutshell who I am, and that's what's on my desk.
Nice. How did your background, growing up, like as you elaborated that you grew up in sort of like three different provinces, in a rural environment, and growing up with your mom, who was also a hustler, but I could slowly kind of like relate with you. For example, my mom, she was a businesswoman, but she I don't think she knew that she was. She was into hair. So after work as a helper, she would fix people's hair. How did that help you to kind of like make a better decision and to be a better entrepreneur? Because they say we are who we are, but our background as well has got an influence in terms of who we are as entrepreneurs and the decisions that we take.
That is brilliant. That's a fantastic question. One of my highly esteemed mentors, I have a couple of those, is leading one of India's top 5 firms. He is from a military background, and how he got informed by his background is that he makes a clear distinction that his fellow corporate CEOs in India, they get rewarded that when things go wrong, they actually retrench people, meaning they throw people under the bus. But him being a military man, he actually goes by the title captain, not CEO. He's a captain. So as a captain, he said he was taught and fully immersed in the military that he must get rewarded and he must get decorations on his shoulders and awards by how many lives he saves, not by how many people he retrenches. So it's funny how corporate means that you will get rewarded by how many redundancies and section 18s you put through. But him, he goes like, no, my background taught me it's how many lives I bring back from a war. So myself, growing up in an entrepreneurial family, today I can tell you I'm not a hustler because I've seen what hustling did to my mom. Hustling almost distracted her because it takes bravery to be a hustler, but for you to run what is sustainable, you need to actually evolve beyond the hustler mindset. So hustler mindset is great as a start, but for you to run a legacy firms that can, as you correctly said during our greetings, can be relinquished over to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th generations, we need to quit the hustler mindset. For too long, we have glorified the hustler when we should have actually put our focus on the visionary who actually thinks beyond the next invoice, thinks beyond the next transaction, thinks beyond the next deal, and thinks beyond the politics of the stomach, and focuses on creating a legacy as equally as they're creating a win. So my mom is my first mentor. Just by observing her, I saw what hustling did for her. On the one hand, it made her a village hero because she had 5 businesses going all at once, but she couldn't devote full attention to any of those businesses. She was always living month to month to month to month. She was always living transaction to transaction. So I made a decision that, listen, I've got to do this thing better. I've got to actually live beyond me and beyond my next invoice. And today, with that upbringing, firstly, I must be very grateful that I lived off the ground and I was a sustenance hunter from the age of 5. I must be grateful for that because that type of upbringing humbled me and got me to realize that if you don't do your homework, you don't eat. If you don't do your homework, there's no deal. There's no month-end invoice. Then your team behind you is going to look to you.